We have an agenda before us. Are there any items that anyone likes to add to the agenda? If not, do I have a motion on the agenda? So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve our agenda. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Okay, Item 1D, our recognition.
Good evening. We are pleased to announce that we have 4 recognitions tonight, total 5 people. And we will start with Beach Elementary. I'm sorry, board members, could you join us up front for our recognitions? We are excited to recognize Beach Elementary for being in the top 1% of the 24-25 Mississippi accountability ratings of all 700-point schools in the state. And for people who don't realize what 700-point schools are, that's all of your elementary schools and middle schools and some other things lumped in. So across all of the state, Beach Elementary was in the top 1%. Congratulations, Beach Elementary. Will you please come up to receive your award?
All right, 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Should say A-rated Beach Elementary. We are also excited to recognize Cherokee Elementary for being in the top 2% of the 24-25 accountability ratings for 700-point schools in the state. Cherokee, would you please come up? The A-rated Cherokee Elementary.
One, two, three.
Next, the Pascagoula-Gautier School District extends its deepest gratitude and admiration to Assistant Chief Vince Nicholson and Nurse Rebecca Delancey for their courageous actions during the critical incident at an off-campus alumni event on September 19, 2025. Would you please come up to be recognized? And last but most certainly not least, we would like to recognize Trent Lott Academy's music educator, Ms. Abby Marshall. Thank you, Ms. Marshall, for your efforts and advocacy for music education. Trent Lott was recognized by the Mississippi Songwriters Association and received ukulele donations for students to continue their learning. Congratulations, Ms. Marshall. Thank you.
Okay, item 1E, do we have any visitors?
We do not have any visitors.
Okay, moving on to item 2, our consent agenda.
We are grouping several routine items into a single consent agenda. Any board member may request that any or all items on the consent agenda be removed and considered as a separate item. If no such request is made, all items on the consent agenda may be approved by a single action of the Board of Trustees. It is recommended that all items in item 2A through Z and 3A through C on the consent agenda for October 13, 2025 be approved.
Okay, are there any items that any board member wishes to have pulled from the consent agenda? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as it's been presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item 4A is our docket claims.
Madam President, I will recuse myself from this.
Okay.
Due to one of the items that I personally know.
Okay. Please note Ms. Black has recused herself. Item 4A is our docket claims.
I make a motion we approve docket claim.
Okay, got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to sit here and randomly talk and see how long it takes. No, I'm just kidding, I don't have any of that.
Okay. Having none, all in favor of approving the docket claims, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0 with one.
That was gonna leave you out there.
It's not nice.
I'm gonna go for a second.
Moving on to item 5A, our informational reports. Everyone's had time to review these items. Are there any questions on item 5A, our informational reports? Vandalism, discipline, or construction?
The only question I had, and I didn't want to pull it off consent for something like that, do we know when we might have renderings for the security upgrades?
Yes, we can send those to you, they're ready.
Okay, any other questions or comments on the informational reports?
No.
Okay, moving on to item 5B, our school improvement updates. Anybody have any questions or comments on those? Those are no longer presented, correct?
Right.
Having no questions or comments, moving on to 5C, which is the study items, the first reading of board policy IJ.
This is a new policy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Payton, do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
If you don't mind, would you read it?
Sure. Okay. Say, this is a study item only and no action will be taken. This is our first reading of IJ. Give me a second. Okay. The internet is a computer network of networks used by educators and others to gather and share information. When used to educate and inform, the internet can be an effective, efficient classroom tool to promote student learning. Students should use the internet to participate in distance learning activities, to ask questions of and consult with experts, to communicate with other students and individuals, and to locate additional educational resources. The board believes that library media specialists and teachers have a responsibility to work together to help students develop the intellectual skills needed to discriminate among information sources, to identify information appropriate to their age and developmental levels, and to evaluate and use the information to meet their educational goals. The internet is a fluid global environment in which information is constantly changing, thereby making it impossible to predict with certainty what information students might locate. Availability of information to students on the internet does not imply endorsement by the school district. Administrative guidelines for student exploration and use of electronic information resources shall address issues of privacy, ethical use of information. I'm struggling over here. With respect to intellectual property, illegal uses of networks, and conditions of usage. In developing such guidelines, the administration will strive to preserve student rights to examine and use information to meet the educational goals and objectives of the school district. The guidelines shall include language affirming that, 1, Students have the right to examine a broad range of opinions and ideas in the educational process, using and exchanging information and ideas on the internet. Students are responsible for the ethical and educational use of their own internet accounts. 3, students have a responsibility to respect the privacy of other internet users. Failure to abide by the board policy and administrative regulation governing use of the district system may result in the suspension and/or revocation of system access. Additionally, student violation may result in disciplinary action up to and including suspension or expulsion. Staff violation may also result in disciplinary action up to and including dismissal. Fees or other charges may be imposed. The Mississippi Public School Accountability Standard for this policy is Standard 18. Okay, that is our first reading. As I said, no action is to be taken. Moving to item 5D, our monthly financial reports. We've received these ahead of time and reviewed. Does anybody have any questions on any of those 3 monthly financial reports? Questions or comments? Okay. Okay,
At this time, I'd make a motion, we close this meeting to determine need for executive session, Madam Chairman.
okay, I've got a motion. I'm sorry, Leon, you second?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second to close the meeting to determine the need for executive session. We have a student matter, a real estate matter, and 2 recommendations for expulsion. Any discussion? All in favor of closing the meeting? Say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes 5-0. Thank you.